welcome to the second episode of the Insane Empire podcast. If you need an intro, go back and watch the other video because we all introduced everybody then. So we're going to dive straight into it on the second year of Insane.
Yes.
So
the best year.
The best year?
For me, the best year.
It seems like we went from 0 to 100 with this year because we went like a couple days to an entire week.
We did, we did a whole week.
We got like a bigger camp, and then they're just like, oh yeah, since we got a bigger camp, let's go ahead and do 7 whole days of Insane, just because we can.
Just because we can. I remember talking about this in like the leadership circle, and we were like, man, that would be amazing, like a whole week, because that's like what typical summer camps do. So we were like, why not us, And
Yes,
we learned.
We quickly learned why we don't do that.
But we have to also remember that like most camps are not like insane.
That is true.
Like most youth camps and
I don't think there's any.
I don't think there's any like I grew up in church. I grew up going to youth events and going to youth camps. And I can dare say there is nothing I've ever seen like Insane on all levels of the realm. Like, it's just this whole other level. Like, you go to a regular youth camp and it's like, Kumbaya, my Lord. And then you might play a little team building exercise, let's all stand.
And then you got Insane.
Let's stand on this log and, we got to work together.
It's a bit excessive on the team building there.
Which, no hate. Those are all great things and they all impacted my life. But like Insane, the way it is just on. Another level. Yeah. So
let's talk about the changes. Obviously, there's a new camp. We do a whole lot of new things.
Yeah.
Was there anything that changed in the nations that y'all remember?
Since Defiant had won the year before, whether you like it or not, we got the lake house front cabins.
Yes, because they're the commander. They got commander privileges.
But what Josue didn't think about was that they had not installed insulation or any drywall in the cabins or AC just yet. So basically, we were cooking beside the lake, man. Like we were sitting there.
Oh, it was hot, dude.
Was this the year that the electricity went out as well?
No.
That's another one.
That's next year.
Oh yes. Whenever we planned it, right? Everybody.
Listen, we can't talk about it yet. We got to talk about it next episode. But I was certain that y'all planned that. I looked at Josue and I was like, what just happened and what are you doing? Because
the Lord works in mysterious ways.
It was the unexpected year.
No. But let's still wake people up at 3 a.m.
But the nations. So Resolute lost its captain that year.
And the curse begins.
So who took over Resolute?
That would be Cindy as the main captain, and then Sheena was her co-captain.
Shout out to my first captains.
Yes, that was your first team. This is your first year coming in.
So you tell us, because we kind of got all of them last episode. You coming in brand new. We've started building Insane, and this is your first year. How do you...
So I know like my first few visits to iChurch, it's when Insane was being promoted, and you're seeing this trailers about the youth retreat. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I remember Chino just being the first guy to come up to me to try to recruit me for his nation. And he hyped me up, and I was like, okay. And then there was already talking smack about Christian, the captain, about Defiant, how they were commanding or whatever. And my competitive nature just took over. I was like, I got you, Chino. You came to me first. I'm loyal to you.
So how did that work? Because he didn't get to pick, right? I mean, you didn't get to just choose everyone you went to.
No, it's just that
he had to draft you.
He had to draft me. Like he's saying that he was going after.
Because that's a strategy, by the way. Yeah. Like, for all those future captains out there, that's a strategy. The draft is a strategy.
Yes, get the biggest person you possibly can in the whole entire church.
No. Only if you need those.
That year, like starting out Insane, that's when we were introduced to the rookie challenge.
Rookie run.
Okay, which...
Is he the only one that's ran the rookie run?
Yeah.
No way.
Awesome. That is awesome. So take us through it.
I know there was like Insane grew because there was, I got to say, over like over 100 rookies that ran it. Yeah. Close to it.
Yeah, it was a lot.
There's 100.
I don't think, I know as soon as we got there, we were all, Josue came up and they were starting we're starting the challenge right away. We're doing the rookie challenge, and we were all sitting there, okay, what we got to do? Well, it turns out we had to run throughout the entire camp, which is huge.
It was massive.
Running through mud, sprinting through fields, swimming across the lake to get to the finish line. It was nothing what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like silly little like teen games.
You thought it was a youth camp.
I'm not gonna lie. It was like
We were just going to hold hands and trot across the field.
survival challenge going on that tested, how well you are strategy wise and physical strength.
The push-ups were outrageous. I remember watching people just
Dude, you
pump
had
it.
to do it on the rocks though. They
Yes,
also
on
didn't
the
play that,
rocks.
so like you're sitting there just like on like gravel, just like
Yeah, you already run through this whole like pit of mud, and then all of a sudden you get to this one station. They're like drilling you with Bible questions. like smart. They're like,
Gotta cover all.
And they're getting bit with ants. Like they got like
and it's
bites from the mud.
pastora too. So like if you don't get these questions right, she's judging you instantaneously. So it's just like
damnation.
who built the ark? I don't know. God.
It was Jonah.
So just so you guys know, I did finish first at rookie challenge.
Yeah. Oh,
Right,
just so we know.
There
the
you
person
go,
that was
bro.
right behind me was Neftali. Shout out to Neftali. We both finished at the same time.
So let's move in a little bit. I want to hear about the new captains, right? Resolute. Y'all were both on Resolute then. So tell us a little bit about that year with the new captain. Because you went from Noe, and then you went Chino and Cindy, right?
We went from, I want to say, definitely peace to chaos. Respectful.
Yeah, because
Respectful.
Cindy's a savage too. Like Cindy is so competitive, and like I remember, like she was like, "Get in there!" Like she like Alexa had already half died twice, and then like they just kept putting her in. They were like, "You will die at this camp, and you will win for us." Like,
Look at me.
I think
I'm your captain now.
Yeah, I'm your captain now.
Or when they did the breath holding challenge and Chino was just sitting there shoving the kids under the water.
Yeah.
1 minute! 1 minute! And they're just like floating in the water like
Raising our hands like, hey, we need a break. And Chino's just like, nope.
That was 2019 though.
Yeah. That wasn't yet.
That was
2019.
2019.
Chino was back on Defiant at that point. Yeah. As he should be. As he should
Amen.
be.
Amen.
Yeah. No.
so Resolute had the year of the 3 C's: Cindy, Chino, and Chaos.
Yeah.
We went ahead and
Very good.
we went ahead and got that. So Anarchy, how were y'all doing that year?
That was the year of Juan. That was Juan's first
That was
captain
the year of Juan. So the goal was there. So our slogan remained the same. We were the chosen ones, and we wanted to go about this
and a rally.
it was a rally.
They did so great. Loved it.
That year we decided even our hand sign was just gonna be this, which we had to unfortunately change, due to circumstances. We were like, oh shoot, triangle.
Due to cultural circumstances.
But yeah, we were trying to go for this kind of like stronghold mentality. We weren't trying to do family. We weren't trying to do nation. We were trying to do more of anarchy. Like we're from the nowhere and we're gonna come for you and we're gonna be strong. And we were stronghold third. Stronghold third, never hit fourth. And I remember we even had a chant, and it was like from the song, and it was like, I believe that we will win. And we would just always chant that. We would always chant.
That's a great chant. I wonder where they got that from.
Yeah, I know. I wonder where. So yeah, that got us to third place. That's how much it got us.
You didn't have enough belief. So.
Yeah, they were just like, we will win.
They may have had the belief, but not the talent. No.
But yeah, that year, but I think that was also a year for like Juan to break out of his shell, because back then he was really shy and like he didn't have that personality to take over a whole nation. And that year I saw it in him. I mean, I was kind of jealous because I wanted to be the captain. I was like, why am I not a captain? A 14-year-old dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was like I really saw him and I really respected him for that. And I was like, wow, like, all right, let me see how I can help this guy. And I don't think there was, besides the fact that we got third place, I feel like they all felt mentally strong. And like, that's something that Juan does for a nation.
Gotcha.
Like he will keep you on your toes. Like he will make sure that you're good.
Let's switch over to Defiant there. You were Defiant this year, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, no.
Yeah, I got switched the year of the unexpected.
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think it was Defiant this time.
Yeah, it was Defiant.
So y'all were Commanders, right?
Yeah.
Did the Commanders
Not
fall?
below.
We were definitely on a high, and to this day I will say we were supposed to win that year. We were supposed to win that year. There's some conspiracy there. I don't think we'll go much
Once
into
again,
it.
when the name is called.
I know.
The name is called.
Right.
Just saying, Josue likes underdog stories, though.
He does like underdog stories. So.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you were supposed to be
Integrity
third.
of the game. He's always promised us the integrity of the game.
But we still got second place, so I mean, still better than third or fourth. So
The only year.
Yeah.
The only
I'm sorry, did you hit first?
first,
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
Mike Tyson trying to describe it there.
Possibly the greatest year for Vitality.
Fun year.
Fun year.
Yeah, fun year. Great team. That was the year that I got Carlos, my husband. I got Chuchi.
He was a rookie.
I had Josue Gomez.
Yes, now-
I had
Wait.
Tiffany. Like,
If
I had
I
an
remember
amazing
correctly,
team.
Josue Gomez had like one of the most epic
Oh,
moments of
yes.
that year.
In the Water Olympics.
He was just there.
Like Josue totally like repped it out for Vitality. So there was this game where you had to hang from this pole
Over the lake.
Yeah, over the lake. And you had to hang, and obviously if you let go, you dropped into the lake. And he was against all these other people. Homeboy didn't sweat for a minute.
He made it look
He's
easy.
sitting there. He was chilling. Do we know how much time he was?
About 5
No,
minutes.
it was a bunch. Like he
It was
outlasted
over.
everyone.
It was over
It was
5 minutes
over.
at that point because
And
our
then-
team failed at about 5 minutes, but he kept
Yeah,
going like
he
about
kept
like
going,
way
and,
more
like-
after that.
And then everybody was like, "Oh, he's starting to get tired." They were hackling him or whatever. And then he just pulls up, and then one-handed like flashes the Vitality sign, and we were like just lost our minds. Like, yeah, we lost our minds because it was so much team spirit, and like Josue. I will say that, like, if you're listening to Josue, like, he was always like our team spirit guy, man. Like, he brought the Vitality love. So, yeah, it was an amazing moment.
Let's talk
Many
about,
amazing moments.
Talk about some of the games in that first one. Does anybody remember? I know it's been a minute. Does anybody remember?
Is that the year that we pushed cars?
No, that
Yeah.
It was hard because we had to push the cars, and then we had the late game where you had to get on the boat, and people from your
Yes,
team
and paddle.
would have to paddle with your hands, which that's where some people passed out.
I will tell you, your pastor loves you. He was freaking out. He was practically pushing me in the water to go get
And
you.
I'm gonna say
I think she'll
something
be okay.
about
Yeah, Jacob's there like, they're not dying.
Yeah, I'm like,
You don't need to
she'll
F them. No need to run. They're fine.
It's because that Water Olympics, it was no joke.
No,
No, but I
no
remember I
joke.
told them, listen, I can't get on this side specifically for this reason. Where do I end up on that side? No, you're staying there.
Not trying hard enough.
I'm like, I can't.
Just floating.
I'm just like, Jacob.
Her whole body went numb. Blood pressure dropped. Had to call the ambulance. Like,
That was
Medic purposes are not for us. They're for the newcomers.
and then later that night was the Battle Royale, right?
The
Like,
Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble. Thank you. And that was where they're inside of these like
I could
big
not see through that thing.
inflatable
Me neither, bro.
ball things, and I see Alexa running down the hill. It's the middle of the night. It's super foggy inside of the ball. Like, and I'm like, Alexa's gonna die. Alexa's gonna die.
That is the day.
Dinah
that
beasted on that one as well.
That night, was it Pastor or Noe? One of them had come up to me and had no, not Noe. Okay, I think it was Pastor. Had come up to me and said, listen, you're going to disqualify your team if you keep playing.
There you go.
I was just,
Yes.
I cried so hard that night because I was just like, listen, I have to keep going.
Y'all were running me ragged. Like, I was from one side to the other.
Well, there was
He wasn't
something
running ragged. He was just
unexpected
walking
about
calmly
Crowder's
ragged.
Ridge.
So upset.
There was something so unexpected about Crowder's Ridge, and it was that it was insanely hot.
Yes.
And we
Yeah.
were not expecting that. And so, like, they forewarned us. They were like, stay hydrated. And we were like, yeah, sure, But we didn't realize, like, that night in the Royal Rumble, I'm on the sidelines. I didn't play that game because I was like, absolutely not. This is where you can count me out. Claustrophobia. And all of a sudden, girls just start dropping like flies. This was the end of the night. We had Water Olympus. We pushed cars.
Dude, there's like 5 or 6 that passed out, broke their back somehow. Like, I mean, like it was
like all the girls just started like we didn't expect this dehydration situation. Chino, who is also a paramedic, was running around with me, and we were like, whoo, whoo, and then Jacob's just nonchalantly walking.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll be okay.
He was
and they
done.
were okay. But I mean, Sarah was down, Phoebe was down, Alexa eventually was down again. Who
I
else
think
was
all
down?
3 Sarahs were out. Because like Sarah Fields broke her
That's
back.
the year she hurt her back, and she still to this day is like, absolutely not.
So we got done with the girls, and I remember us saying, "Okay, the boys go." And Sierra comes to me and she goes, "You're not gonna let the boys go. We got people passing out." I mean, just wide open. She's like, "There's no way." I'm like,
Yes, way.
"Yes, it's time for the boys."
We were both on the same level of panic.
I tell you, it was more personal because I wanted to get in after all y'all got done. I was so excited.
Well, that was the time. So my husband, poor Carlos.
He flipped down the
He
hill.
he was like, ready, and him and Juan were in this like final little battle. And then Carlos goes full speed at Juan, and Juan just all of a sudden goes, swoop, and Carlos just goes rolling. Like, I wish we had that on camera. I think he even won an award for that moment.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
There's a video. Of
There is a video.
Didn't he roll down the hill though?
No.
There was somebody else. I think it was a rookie for that.
He rolled twice. He rolled down the hill and then he rolled out of the hill.
We have to talk about a very certain point in that game. I don't know if y'all remember, but that was the year that we brought our barber and cut during the scavenger hunt. Yes. So we had a bunch of people at the very end of that.
I want to know that he got their certificate for barber.
I mean, it's a very prestigious school.
It's very prestigious.
But anyway, so we have the final 4, if you remember, in the bubble balls.
Yeah.
And we've got all these guys, and they've got the reverse mohawk. They're looking up, like, yeah! Stupidest looking haircut.
God, he's the airbender. She's like, oh no.
Stupidest looking haircut we've ever seen. And, and it's go, right? And I think they're all coming after, is it Carlos that everybody's going after?
Yeah, I don't.
Or is it Juan?
I
It's
think
Juan.
it was Juan because he was so fast.
Everybody's
It was
going
Juan
after
and
Juan.
Neftali. It was Juan and Neftali for Resolute, Carlitos for Vitality, and then me for Defiant. So Carlitos got juked the frick out and fell out.
One steps up, and like the other 2 that were going for him just bust out. And and one was like, "I won!"
Yeah. He was
great.
so fast.
It was great. Another thing that I wanted to talk about in the Water Olympics is that was the year you lost your glasses.
Oh, that was a sacrifice. What are you talking about?
His glasses fall off, and me and Pastor go, "TK, your glasses." He goes, "Forget them."
So much passion. Die hard, TK, die hard.
Oh my
God.
I was just really hoping that somehow you guys could find it in your heart to get me some extra points out of it. I was like, forget him. I will win. I will win.
That was the year that, there was 2 things that happened huge for Vitality that year. And the first one was Danny trying to eat a toad. So in the scavenger hunt, they were like, it was a joke. It was a live toad. Nobody was going to eat this live toad. It was just for you guys to mess with us or whatever. And Danny was so hardcore. He was like, "Give it to me." He grabs the toad, and the staff is literally like, no. Like, don't kill the animal. Like, and they were like, he was like, "I'll eat it right now. And they were like, "No, you really don't. Like, we'll give you points. You really don't have to." He was like, "I'm ready." And then the second one was, that was the first year of the lip sync challenge.
Oh God.
And me and Danny, that was like the epitome of lip sync perfection. And Danny was my wrecking ball. Yes. Danny was my wrecking ball. I was Miley Cyrus. Classic moment.
I was
What were you?
That's
shirt tucked
this is the year, right?
He literally has a GIF. There's a GIF out there for him.
On GIF, yeah. So like literally this is how it went down. Chris was like, all right, guys, next challenge is lip sync. We need funny people that are going to do unexpected things. I was 14 and like, you know, like no one knew who I was. Like no one even like knew my name or nothing. And so all of a sudden he was just like, you. And I was like, why? and so
it was a Spanish song.
It was a Spanish song with Laura Mendoza.
Like, just say Coco, no, that's all you got to do.
Yeah, literally that was it. And so he was just like, listen, dude, you got to go up there and you got to do something unexpected because everyone's expecting you to be quiet and to be, you know, reformed and stuff like that. So just go up there and have fun, man. So I was like, what is the number one thing that I can do that's unexpected? And I was like, dude, you got to twerk. that was my reasoning. So I tied my hair up in a poof. I put on like sweatpants and like colorful shorts and then tied my shirt up. And I was just like, all right, let me grab a broom too. So I grabbed a broom and I got to work, man.
Yes.
As Rihanna would say. So I got to work and we didn't win. So I was sitting there, I did the song and I came off and Chris was like, bro, what? No one expected it.
I think that was the part that I love most. Like, that was the year I think that most captains got very, very competitive. Like, we all took the game extremely seriously. But that was one of my favorite moments. I think that's why that was kind of my favorite year, was because there were still these moments of just everyone forgot the game and just had a blast together. And we were rolling the whole lip sync challenge. And this was, you didn't have time to plan this. Like, they dropped this on us.
No, it's like 15 minutes preparation.
Yeah, 15 minutes preparation. They didn't tell us ahead of time that this was going to happen. So, like, it was just like, get creative and pull something out. And we all just were loving everybody else's participation. So that was definitely one of my favorite, like, most memorable moments of Insane that year.
Now, to me, the worship took it to another level that year, as well as the preaching and the word. So do any of y'all have a moment that you remember about that? I know it's been a minute.
Was that the year that Dance did the Chains dance?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, that was the year that Dance did. I mean, we prepared this whole participation it was a storytelling participation, and it talked about, you know, depression, suicide, drugs, and I literally climbed up on another girl's shoulders. Like, we went all out for this participation, and it was very, very powerful. Still to this day, it gets shared on Facebook. Every year that it comes back in memory.
That was a year that it was just a tarp, right?
Yeah, it was just blazing hot. It was the blazing hot.
You passed out in the bench.
We did not expect for this camp to be like, we're like, oh yeah, Gastonia. Like, it shouldn't be that bad. Like, it was literally, I always joke, forgive me parents if you're watching, but I'm like, it's literally like this camp is sitting on Satan's butt crack. Like, it's just so hot in there. And they didn't have air conditioning. Like, the barn didn't exist yet. So we're in this tent. And
we just had industrial fans
we
blowing
also
all
had,
around us.
I think that was a year that we had a concert with flamethrowers shooting up. Was it?
Yeah, I believe we did have.
I think we did have flamethrowers.
I remember the debate.
That's where I
do we
passed
have
out
them
with
on
Alexa.
the altar or do we put them down
here? Yeah, we were so nervous. Yeah, we were so nervous.
See if we're gonna melt the tent.
Yes. No, that was amazing.
We're like, oh my gosh, flamethrowers! It's so hot.
It's so hot. No, that year, worship-wise, was on another level. Sermons, I mean, Pastor Josue and Pastor Carlos, they just both tag-teamed that so hard. And I remember so many testimonies. I mean, Chuchi, you know, we can bring him on one episode. I mean, that changed his whole life that year. I mean,
that's the reason he's still here.
He was living in New Jersey. And obviously he can tell his testimony better than I can, but he was living in New Jersey and just on this crazy path. And, you know, we invited him down, and he actually ended up moving to North Carolina because he was so impacted by Insane that year. So
that's amazing. Anybody else have anything they remember? Like I said, it's been a minute, but
that was the first year that we had like the individuals pray, like they were like elders, but like not yet. It was like
counselors, camp counselors.
Yeah, camp counselors. Yeah, that was the first year that we had that, and like actually go out and like pray over certain individuals and stuff like that. And that was powerful, especially after the sermon, because a lot of that year was about breaking bondage, and so a lot of the sermons were geared towards that. And I think That was like one of the
breaking from the sin that's holding you.
Yeah, and so a lot of the sermons were based on that. And this one sermon, it was right after Pastor Carlos had gotten off, and I think he even tag teamed it with Josue that year too. And it was impactful, and that's the one that changed my life, was when I got prayed over that year, and that one was awesome. It was awesome.
The altar calls that year, I remember,
they were crazy,
were flooded.
Yeah,
they were so intense and so. I mean, like the Holy Spirit was just so overwhelmingly in that place, and you really saw, and maybe it was the 7 days. I don't know, but like
it was intense.
It was intense. I mean, like,
but it was intense from day one.
It was insane.
Yeah, it was insane. Yeah, no, but like I just remember like. I mean, normally if you go to a camp or whatever, you might see 1, 2, 3, max 10, kids go up to the altar or whatever. But like this was like the whole crowd. I mean, you just couldn't withstand it. People would fall to their knees, like just broken because of the word that was being preached about breaking your sin and breaking that bondage and really truly stepping away from it.
Agreed.
That's one things that like I say, I grew up in youth camps, and you might break it at camp, but then you go right back to it as soon as it's over. And so this was something that was preached, like you have to make this life change for the better, like for the good. Like you can't go back to this sin and keep living the way that you are. And so I really saw a lot of youth that year just really, truly making huge life changes.
For me personally, I think that was my year that obviously like it was such an intense, insane, a lot happened.
Yeah.
But I think for me, that was like my year where I really took insane in like for my life personally, like to a whole different level. Like that's where like the whole mindset for me came into like, this is literally the life you live outside of insane. Like maybe not to the same obviously extent. You're not passing out a few times every day. But I mean, like even in my life outside of insane, there were certain things where like I would actually have days like that physically. And so like for me that whole like insane is your life. It helps you actually battle the fights that you have in your life, no matter how small or something so simple or something really intense and deep and spiritual. And so like for me that was I think for every insane is great. Yeah. But I think it was, even though we ended up in 4th place that year. Yeah. But it was a very powerful, spiritually powerful insane for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I feel like, and maybe it was just my involvement in it, like that was my first year to really be involved in the whole planning side of everything. But I feel like that was when Insane really took on its identity. Like the first year was good, and it was good to build the teams and figure out what that was. But then whenever we were in Crowder's Ridge, I feel like we found what Insane really is. Like it's this crazy intense camp that you're going to go to, and you go and you experience God like never before, because you've been out there doing things that you didn't think were even possible physically, and then spiritually you were ready to receive more than you ever felt possible as well.
And I feel like the teams, like the connection that the teams had that year was on a whole other level from the first year. Like you really, really, truly created relationships that year, because it was 7 days. Like you were just like living life together, and like you were on this like journey, this adventure, this battle together. And so I feel like a lot of, like that nation pride really like stuck out that year.
Gotcha.
And I know for me, like speaking of those connections with the team, that's the biggest thing I think for me that kind of helped me, because it was like I was going out here, competing, having fun. By me doing that, I had no clue that I was inspiring others. Like I had people that I didn't know before come up to me and say like, hey, that you inspired me. And I was like, really? And because of Insane, I formed so many like relationships. Like coming back to church, I got to know Christian, Alexa, Rafa even more, and those connections are still strong to this day. I mean, that's what Insane does.
So, unfortunately, we ran out of time. We come to the end of the first one.
In this round, we may have to do a double tap or something.
Maybe we can come back to a few different stories.
Yeah, because we didn't even talk about the questionnaire where Pastor gave the famous talk.
I was just thinking about that, bro.
Famous talk that every Switch unit member, whenever they hear a sermon about this subject, we immediately all think about the hand signs this man did.
And that was the year that the Bible debate queen was really crowned, correct?
That's right.
They wiped her up.
We're gonna have to do like a part 2 or
We're gonna have
something.
to roll it back sometime. Maybe we'll have time in the next
have a part
episode.
2.
But next time we'll talk about year 3, second year at Crowder's Ridge on the Insane Empire podcast.
Wait. Oh. Come back for the next right here. Come back for the next episode to see the sickest freaking what's it called when a diss track that was dropped by Mr.
He knows
Christian
it word by
Rodriguez.
word.
I know that diss track word by word.
Do a little trash talking in the next one.
To the other team.
All right. You'll have to come back.
This
next
is
time.
insane. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
We'll see you.